welcome back to Lights, Camera, and Action with your host, me, Chris, and our co-host, Miranda. As always, say hi to the people.
Hey, everyone.
Well, we're back with another episode. I believe this makes number 5. This episode, we're going to talk about some beauty tips, specifically skincare. This is going to be the first one of many, hopefully many, beauty kind of tips. It's going to be like its own little mini series of sorts in this season. So when it comes to skincare, I am by no means any sort of an expert or even a beginner, and I don't know very much about it. So I'm going to be learning along with everyone else on this episode. Miranda, she's done all the research, she's talked to the people, and she just already is a wealth of knowledge and information. So she's going to take this episode, she's going to take lead, give us all the pointers and give us all the tips. And I'm going to watch and listen, and maybe I'll interject if I feel, feeling a little froggy, I guess you could say, but I'm going to be learning along with you. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to the awesome Miranda.
Yeah, hey everyone. So I know last episode we talked about body confidence, body positivity, and a big thing that held me back in terms of confidence for a long time was I didn't feel confident in my skin. I could cover it up with makeup and whatnot, but just, underneath the surface, I didn't feel confident. When I was a teenager, I started struggling with acne, which like most teenagers, right? But I noticed as I got older and became an adult, it didn't just like magically go away. Like so many people said, oh, like you'll grow out of it. A lot of my friends had it when we were teens, kind of grew out of it, but mine was sort of like sustained through college. And I started like freaking out. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't even want, my husband at the time was my boyfriend. I'm like, I don't even want him to see me without my makeup on. I'm like, And it just wrecked me, it like wrecked my confidence. So I did a lot of research back then, and research into this changes all the time. And, you have to tweak your routine every once in a while. But I did a lot of research into skincare, and I learned a lot about myths, things I've been doing totally wrong my whole life based on things that, old wives' tales, things you've heard that dermatologists are just like, no, 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 no. So I'm going to talk about things that you may be doing wrong that I was doing wrong. Things that you probably aren't doing that you should be doing, and then things that are a little bit more invasive, like actual like medical dermatological treatments you can go have done or you can talk to a dermatologist about that have really helped me. A lot of it you can do at home, but there's certainly some treatments out there if your acne is more severe or your scarring or whatever is more severe that you can go and consult a doctor about. So to start with myths, I don't know if anyone ever heard the myth. I did when I was young. My mom grew up in the 70s, and I heard the myth that the tanning bed or laying out in the sun gets rid of your acne. It's like, it's summertime, and people would associate that, I guess, with laying out in the sun, and their acne would go away. Well, the more research I did into this, I found that, in the summer, you're getting more vitamin D from the sun, yes, but you're generally less stressed, especially if you're a college student or a high school student. School's out. Whatever, we're all less stressed, the sun's out. And so the tanning bed and the sun has nothing to do with it. And in fact, the tanning bed and the sun, if you're not using SPF or sunscreen, is just going to wreck and age your skin and irritate it more. So this blew my mind because I would spend days in the summertime just laying out on the pool deck, trying to bake in the sun to try to like get rid of my acne. And I'd be like, why is my skin so red? Why is my skin so dry? Well, because the sun destroys your skin. Every dermatologist I've talked to in recent years, when I talk about how I used to sunbathe or get in the tanning bed, they're like, oh my God, that's like the worst thing you can do. Like rule number 1 with skin is wear sunscreen. Not only is it going to help you not age, it's going to help reduce like redness, irritation, inflammation, dryness. Just cannot say enough good things about using sunscreen. A good moisturizer with SPF in it is always the best bet because, you can just cleanse your face in the morning and just put that on underneath your foundation. A lot of makeup foundations, if you wear makeup, have SPF. So one big myth that sun or the tanning bed will clear up your skin. It totally won't. It'll probably make it worse, and you need to be using sunscreen to actually keep your skin optimally healthy. Spray tans are fine. I know a lot of us just like to look tan. Spray tanning is okay. Most spray tans are what they call non-comedogenic, which means they're not going to create comedones, which are like the technical medical term for blackheads or clogged pores. So most spray tans at most tanning salons, totally fine. Not dissing tanning salons, spray tans, totally okay, totally great. Self-tanner, usually totally fine. Just don't bake and fry your skin like I did for so long because it will just cause wrinkles and dryness and make your acne worse. So that was the first big myth that was busted for me that actually really helped change my skin. When I moved away from that, my skin got a lot healthier. The second one is exfoliation. So this one is like divisive. Exfoliation can be a good thing for your skin. Exfoliation is basically using something like kind of abrasive to get the top layer of like dead skin cells off of your skin when you're like washing your face or just cleansing your body. But there were these things in the early 2000s that we all used, and they still sell them, but like everybody had this in like the early 2000s, and it was like the Apricot Scrub. And basically it was this scrub that had apricot seeds in it, and it was like sandpaper. It was like a face soap that was like sandpaper. You put it in your hands, lathered up, and it was just scratchy, and it had the big apricot seeds in it. And the idea was, well, just scrub your face with that every day, and all the dead skin will come off every night, and you'll be good to go. So in recent years, dermatologists have said, yeah, we can do a little bit of microdermabrasion with like really technical tools in our offices and do it in like a safe, clean environment, but doing it yourself at home with something that big and like that abrasive is just creating like micro cuts on your skin, probably making your pores like more agitated, and it can make scars like deeper and worse. So I used to use those apricot scrubs, and I was like, why aren't they curing my acne, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's because really it's just, if you do have acne or anything, it's just going to bust it open and just make it scar more, essentially. So that stuff is, go ahead.
I was going to tip and pitch in here because I'm sure a lot of people actually follow are familiar with the myth on TikTok, the at Derm Doctor. He even did a quick video about that, using abrasives to kind of clean and wash your face. And he even suggested, a soft towel, with your, the proper, face cleaner or soap and water, and not using like anything harsh to rub your, for that reason is it opens up the pores.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. Derm Doctor is awesome. And yeah, he talks about this at length. And he also talks about like the pore suction devices, because those can just break blood vessels in your skin. Like generally anything really abrasive you're going to do to your face. I know sometimes we all just really want to like scrub at it really hard and make the acne go away, but it just doesn't work that way. You're just probably going to make it worse or break blood vessels or like lead to scarring on your face. So no, 100%. He's totally right about that. And he is awesome. Love Derm Doctor. So to go on to his next point, those are my two big myths, by the way, that once those were busted for me, I really began like my skincare journey in earnest. And so the next thing I want to talk about is cleanser. So when it came to, well, I still got to wash my face. What is a good cleanser? And actually what Chris just said, that Derm Doctor recommends, warm towel with just like a scentless bar of soap. And then I use Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser because it's very gentle. It's over the counter. They sell it at Walmart, Target, CVS, whatever. You can just buy it in the soap section. So I just use regular soap with a towel. Then I do a little bit of the Gentle Skin Cleanser, and it's like not abrasive. It doesn't have a bunch of peroxide or anything in it crazy. It's not acidic at all. It's just like kind of bubbles up, gets the makeup and stuff off, and then you're good to go. And honestly, moving away from that harsh stuff, like Derm Doctor says, and like moving to just soap and water with like a soft washcloth has been transformational. My skin feels so much more clean. And when I get out of the shower or like in the morning, right after I wash my face, it's not like red all over. Like my skin feels soft and good. It doesn't look like agitated, like I just scrubbed it with the steel wool stuff. So that's been a lot better for me actually. And after that, I love to harp on, like I said a minute ago, sunscreen and like SPF, but also moisturizer. So a big thing for me has been just using a moisturizer that's scentless. So I typically use vitamin E cream, and then I just use Neutrogena, like the 100 SPF, which is like really good for your face because it's a super high SPF. And some days I don't even wear makeup anymore because my skin has been doing so well since I started just kind of taking it more easy and doing these treatments, treating my skin better in general. But when I, do wear makeup, you can wear that stuff underneath because it's really lightweight. And if you don't wear makeup, then you're good. You have your moisturizer and your SPF on. And so you can just go out and you don't have to worry about the sun like penetrating your skin or like irritating it as much. So that has been huge for me. Just more gentle cleanser, not scrubbing the heck out of my face for no reason, because that really just leads to like worse problems down the road. And then using a good moisturizer and SPF. Like I said a little bit earlier, you can find some that are a combo. I like to use them as two separate things. I use, like I said, just scentless vitamin E cream and then Neutrogena sunscreen on my face. That works best for me. But anything that's non-comedogenic is not going to clog your pores typically and won't leave you feeling like greasy after the fact. So just anything like that is typically good. When it comes to skin types, I have combination skin. So that means I get oily in some spots and dry in others. So there might be products that are better suited to just dry or just oily skin because that's what works best for me. But typically you can just do some research, look for like, non-comedogenic moisturizers for dry skin, oily skin, or what have you.
It's something else too that when we're talking about cleansing and washing your face that I've been told personally is using too hot of water too when you're in the shower or when you're washing your face, because people don't know this. Hot water obviously is very relaxing, but it also opens up your pores a lot more. It causes you to sweat. It causes all kinds of things to happen. And too hot of water can actually damage your skin. That's why it looks red when you get out of the very hot shower. So using, warm water instead of extremely hot water can also be beneficial.
Yeah, 100%. Because, once again, that water is really hot, it kind of like surface burns your skin almost, which, will make it really red and really irritated, which leads to more breakouts down the road. Another thing for keeping your skin moisturized, it's winter. Now we have our winter clothes on and everything. Use a humidifier. Like, it's kind of one of those things you don't think about or you think about just for your allergies or like when you're sick, but we have a humidifier in our bedroom. My stepsister got me a desk humidifier like to plug into my USB on my computer, because you don't realize in the winter when you're not producing as much sweat or like, when the air isn't as humid and it's really dry, that's stripping a lot of moisture out of your skin all day long. You might notice like your hands get more dry and cracked in the winter. Well, the same thing's happening to your face and your neck and like all the skin here that you want to keep moisturized and fresh. And so using a humidifier is a game changer. They're not that expensive. You just put water in most of them, and you just turn it on, and I don't even think about it, but it's one of those things that just makes a big difference to have it just running in the background. So I have some moisture in the air, at least in my home and in my office all the time. In addition to that, so those are a lot of the home treatments that I do. And home treatments are great. Skincare routine, basically, to break it down, just to recap, I would just say gentle, good cleanser. Can be over the counter. I like Cetaphil and just a normal Dove bar soap for mine, a moisturizer and SPF. It can be that simple. I know some people have really crazy skincare routines, but honestly, like overdoing it, like we said before, can cause more problems down the road and it's not sustainable. You might not keep up with it. So find a good cleanser that's gentle on your skin, do it morning and night, and use moisturizer and SPF. And that is like the best at-home remedy for me personally. And more research that I've been doing online, for most people, that's what works the best if you're just going to do at-home treatments. But it doesn't.
Sorry to interrupt, but before you start talking about treatments too, something I wanted to touch base on really quick too is also in regards to makeup, and something that was really brought to my attention by an expert is something that's really bad today, and that's sharing of like makeup supplies and sharing of like makeup brushes and sponges. And a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually like transfer disease and sores and like cold sores and STDs and things through sponges and makeup brushes, which can also have like a damaging effect on your skin and your health. So like I've heard horror stories of young ladies who have like shared up makeup brushes and then got things too close to their eye, and then they have these horrible breakouts around their eye or around their mouth and their nose. And it's because, they were sharing brushes with somebody who maybe they shouldn't have shared a brush with, but you don't have a way of always knowing that. And so I think of, investing in good equipment for yourself, but also choosing high quality makeup as well. That's also not going to clog your pores as bad. That's easy to remove. That's, healthier for your skin as well.
100%. And actually, to add to that really quick, a lot of people don't wash their makeup brushes or their beauty blenders. Always wash those things, man. They sell soaps that are very specific to washing makeup brushes and beauty blenders and applicators for foundation, and they're non-comedogenic. Once again, that word you want to look for, non-comedogenic, meaning it's not going to clog pores. And they're usually made specifically for that purpose without any harsh chemicals or anything, because you don't want to clean them with bleach or anything. Don't get that anywhere near your skin, first of all, nowhere near your skin. But yeah, always clean your makeup brushes and your products, because your own skin too can create, and this is gross, we don't like to talk about this, but it's just a fact, your own skin can create bacteria as well. Especially if you struggle with acne, you might have bacterial acne and you don't want to put makeup on your skin one day, leave that sponge sitting there, and then come back to it the next day, because it's going to grow bacteria. And like I said, I know that's gross. We don't like to talk about it, but it's true. So you have to keep things clean. Like Chris said, invest in high quality equipment and keep it clean, and use high quality products, both when cleaning your makeup products and just with what you're putting on your face or your skin in general. So that's another good at-home tip, because makeup plays a huge part in skincare. The one other thing I'll say about makeup is don't sleep in your makeup. I know sometimes you come home at night and you're so tired, or maybe you've been out and it's the weekend, it's really late, and you're like, oh, I'll just sleep in my makeup this one time. Just don't make a habit of it. Sleeping in your makeup can really clog your pores, even if it's high quality makeup. Just leaving it on for so long can be really bad, and it can age your skin. Always wash your face before bed. Just always, use makeup remover, take the makeup off, and then do your skincare routine after that. If it's the only thing you do before bed, that's super, super important. As well as things like drinking water. Drink enough water. My dermatologist was telling me the other day, I was like, is caffeine really bad for my skin? And she was like, well, only if you don't drink enough water. So kind of water is the magical substance that's going to help you with anything in your body, but especially with your skin. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. I find especially before bed, if I don't drink a lot of water before bed, if I go to bed kind of dehydrated, I wake up and my skin looks kind of puffy and I have more of the dark circles. So drink a lot of water as well. And Chris, before I move to more medical tips, do you have any other at-home tips or at-home remedies?
I'm really glad you said about the water, staying hydrated. So this is something that I learned as being a high school boy who played a lot of sports, and sweating, and just, sometimes you get dirty and gross, and then you don't drink water and your skin gets dried out. Bad things happen when you don't drink water. So staying hydrated is something that I even struggle with as an adult. And it's something that really makes a difference, and not just how you feel physically, but in your skin. And, a lot of skincare is all about moisturizing and staying, being moisturized. Well, your body does that a lot of times naturally too, but you have to be hydrated to do that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's something that's just super easy to do. You drink water in your day-to-day life, so just drink a little more of it. If you're feeling dehydrated, that's a really super easy way to look out for your skin. Just drink more water. Incorporate that into your routine. Even if you have to do what some of my friends do, set an alarm on your phone that says drink water, because sometimes we forget, even as adults, sometimes we can just be going about our days, or maybe we're just drinking coffee all day, or soda, what have you, but you need to drink just water a lot of the time. It's water and herbal teas, anything that's not caffeinated, mostly water, is really, really good for you, especially good for your skin health. So moving into medical interventions. Now, this is something, I'm not a physician, so I'm going to say that I'm not a licensed physician. This is something you should always talk to a licensed dermatologist about. But I'm just going to share my experience with some licensed medical treatments I've had from professional licensed dermatologists that have really changed my life. So you can maybe look into them more, do some research, then speak with a dermatologist about these things to see if they'd be right for you. So whenever I started to see my acne was clearing up a little bit, on its own, just through myself practicing better skincare tips and habits, I wanted more results. Like the acne was going away, but I still had like some scarring and red spots from where I'd had acne for so long and through so much of my life. So I went to a dermatologist and I learned about something called basically laser skin resurfacing. There are a lot of different brands of this, but the brand I had from a dermatologist was called Nordless IPL. It's really common. A lot of dermatologists have it now. And essentially, it's like laser, like UV rays that are like controlled because, like I said before, UV rays, generally sun, bad for your skin. This is like a highly controlled environment that they're doing this in. And essentially, the laser, they go in sections across your face and they just zap, 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 zap because it's going to kill off the top cells there, kind of like burn those away. And then it leaves just the fresh, new, like younger skin underneath. I've been doing that. It's not like instant results. Like you do it and then you need to go back every 6 weeks for a little while before you start seeing some results. But me personally, after talking with my dermatologist and having them administer this in their office in a professional setting, I've seen a huge reduction in like my scarring and my skin like glows a lot more now. It helps with like complexion, like your skin kind of glows more because all the skin that's left underneath is like really young and fresh skin. So that's something I've personally done. The medical stuff I've had done, just to recap on that, on everything I said a minute ago, was like basically laser skin resurfacing. But once again, I'm not a physician. That's always something you should talk to your dermatologist about. And there are different types. They'll let you know if they think you're right for it. And then if they think you're right for the type that kills more bacteria, if they think you have a bacteria acne problem, or the type that just resurfaces for scarring, which is more what I did. My acne was more under control, but I wanted to get rid of the scars. And then they have other ones that can even penetrate more into fine lines and wrinkles and like aging things. But you just need to always have that discussion with your doctor. Like I said, I'm not a physician. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. So certainly consult your dermatologist if you're interested in that. It's worked wonders for me, and there are plenty of options outside of that as well. And I think, yeah, that's everything in my experience with skincare. Once again, just saying like myths that you've heard your whole life you might want to look into because they might not be true. Like for me, the tanning bed and laying in the sun was not a good idea. Those are not things you should do to your skin. Using like really harsh abrasive things to wash your skin, even though it might seem in the short term like a good idea to scrub it all off, like not good for your skin at all. And then just moving into things that are more gentle for your skin, gentle cleansers, practicing good hygiene with makeup and makeup equipment, things like using SPF and a good moisturizer. And then if you need additional treatment, always going to a dermatologist and getting a professional opinion and professional help.
Alrighty. Well, lots of great tips from our wonderful model and apparently beauty expert, Miranda. Again, a lot of great tips. Staying hydrated is really important, using your equipment properly. And again, as you said, just to reiterate, abrasive stuff, all really important. But most importantly is always consult an expert, right? So your dermatologist, your family doctor, somebody who really knows your health and your family background, your family history, all of those things are really important. But that wraps it up for today's episode. We'll have more beauty tips in the future. If you have questions or ideas or things you want to hear us discuss or debate or talk about on the show, you know how to reach us. At least you should by now. But if this is your first time watching, we're going to tell you all about the Panda and where to find us online. So Miranda, how can the people find you?
Yeah, so everyone can find me on Instagram. I'm at FurPanda. That's at FIRPANDA, FurPanda, because nothing else rhymes with Miranda. You can also find me on mirandamuses.com, which is my official website, and then on SDS Modeling Co., which Chris can tell you more about now.
All right. You can find us on all of the platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Google, the interwebs, anywhere, by just searching SDS Modeling Co. You'll find us super easily that way. And if you're also having trouble finding Miranda, she will be tagged in a lot of our posts, and Her website is often linked on our website in our blog section, and things that she's contributed to as well. So again, at Fur Panda, at SBS Modeling Co. This has been Lights, Camera, Action. Happy New Year.